Hey there, friends. The other day I had this wacky idea, trying to calculate pi in Minecraft. And after some failed attempts, very failed, I finally found a way to get close to it. But first, let's talk about the concept. Let's start with the scary part, math, but it will be quick, I promise it. Imagine throwing a triangle at random into this square. How often do you think it will end inside the circle? Well, if it hits any block inside the circle. What's the probability then? Well, the number of positive cases, that is the number of blocks inside the circle, the red ones, divide the number of all blocks inside the square, which are the red ones plus the green ones. Now, in a non-blocky world, that would mean the area of the circle divided the area of the square, which is pi divided 4. Yes, if we are able to estimate this probability in Minecraft, we are actually able to estimate pi divided 4, and therefore pi. Now we need two things, a something that happens randomly in the square, and another something that is able to detect if the previous something is happening inside the circle or not. We cannot use block circles to find pi, but how do we find circles in Minecraft then? At first I tried with the squeak sensor since it can detect what happens in a radius around itself, but it was quite clunky to use, or at least I was not able to fully use it as I intended. Maybe it's me, maybe it's the squeak. Eh. I then tried to die. You might ask why. Well, when a player dies, the items propagate randomly around the player. However, I realized that the items tended to concentrate more in the center, as they propagate like a sphere, and some hit the ground first, or at least that was my explanation. And so I decided to move on. Looking for that something that happens randomly, I try with a mob spawner, since the area where a mob can spawn is a square. But they were not spawning a very random way, probably due to how the algorithm that checks where they can spawn or not works. Or at least that was my feeling. If I am wrong, feel free to let me know. I then changed my approach. I moved on to TNT, which has a blast radius of 7 blocks. This way, I could use the explosion to check whether an entity was inside the circle or not. I did run into a little problem. The TNT kept moving when it was ignited, but then, dummy me, I realized I could just fix it like this. That's when I changed the approach. I can just spam. Instead of placing one item, checking if it's inside or not, and repeating the process, I realized I could just place a lot of items at once in a more uniform way. And I came up with this ugly thing here. The idea is pretty simple. Let me show you. All the dispensers are loaded with non-stackable items. First, I spam a lot of items, and then I drop the TNT. And as you can see, we are on the right track. We count the items from all the dispenser, remove the ones that remain after the explosion, and calculate the items that were inside the circle. From that, we can determine pi. Now, if we look back, we are actually collecting the items that correspond to the green blocks in the circle I showed you at the start. Once again, items are dropped. I drop the TNT. The minecarts collect the items, and the result is Well, and as everyone knows, Pi is. Well, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Just kidding, funny me. I totally messed up. If we consider the dispenser in the middle, it doesn't just drop items on the block directly below, it also drops them on the nearby blocks. However, if we look at one on the side, it behaves differently. This caused more items to accumulate on the sides than I intended. To solve the problem, I made the base larger and added hoppers on the sides. Now the items won't display the same way as before. Instead, the extra items will end up in this chest. While doing the math, I will subtract the extras from the total number of blocks dropped from above. The result, well, it's not perfect, but it's actually pretty close, and to be honest, I am happy with it. But the real question now is, can this method be improved? Probably, but not by much. Why? Well, the dispensed items aren't just points, they have a hitbox, and this messes up the math. Another point, the TNT when exploding actually pushes some items around instead of destroying them. Last but not least, the TNT is far more complicated than I anticipated. And I'm not even sure the blast radius is actually 7, to be honest. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.